Namaskar Bandhu, my name is Ashish Vidyarthi. Today let's talk relationships. Yes, those beautiful, bizarre, bonding things that make us sing, swoon, sometimes sulk, sometimes sleep with our phone under our pillow. And yet, we live for them, we pine for them, those friendships. We actually live with them, live for them in this complicated neighborhood called life. But as I say that रिश्तों के EMI नहीं होते, लेकिन कभी कभी लगता है कि हर मंथ इमोशनल इंटरेस्ट भरना पड़ता है यार. There are certain relationships which actually take an emotional toll on you. But remember, my friend, रिश्ते, relationships are not a lifelong subscription with no exit policy. Because life is not a reality show where you need to only perform for marks, for likes, for people to appreciate, and it's definitely not a barter system. I did that for you, she didn't do that for me. Please, my friend, life is so much about how much can you allow life to participate with you. Your friends, your relationships are an aid for you. Many people feel that they are being crushed by relationships. And a monk very simply said when asked, "How do you deal with that?" And the monk replied, "Help people by not sitting on them. Walk beside them." Many a times in our life, we choose people to walk with, and at some point, we either feel saddled by them or saddle ourselves on them. Basically, someone is taking a piggyback ride. So, at some point, someone is going to suffocate. It's either going to be you or that other person. Shoulder rides are, my friend, for toddlers, not adults, and definitely not for adults with egos. We also have to remember, what are you wanting to pouring into a relationship? What is it that you are committed to? What do you want in a relationship? You got to know what you are pouring from your cup. And it's sometimes very odd because you don't even know what's there in your cup. Check. Are you being authentic in this relationship? Or are you just surviving applause? Oh, what a great friend he is. Oh, I love his friendship. What a great guy this person is. Listen, my friend. At some point, you will start complaining, "I was available, they were not." It's like you did some great duty for them. Remember, life isn't a buffet where people fill your plate or you are filling their plate and both of you just stand there. You're allergic to certain things, intolerant to certain things, but you're still smiling because that looks good. That's what's expected. We've got cases and stories in the past where people have been walked over. Yeah? We've seen people, "Oh, you have done so much, and still that person did that to you." Well, that person chose to be walked over. You have to remember one thing, my friend, that in life, you have to stand for what you believe in. And that's when true friendship, true relationships can be nurtured. Because just like you, that person has a uniqueness, has a personality. And it doesn't work if one is being overridden by others. Love is not a discount coupon. Kindness is not a one-sided agreement. Space is definitely not disrespect. A fierce samurai, there's an interesting story. A fierce samurai once stormed into a quiet temple and just barked at the monk. "Tell me the difference between heaven and hell, and tell me now." The monk looked at him and said, "You, a warrior? You look more like a wet cat with a sword." Fuming, the samurai drew his blade, ready to strike. The monk calmly said, "That is hell." The samurai froze. Humbled, he slowly lowered his sword. The monk nodded. And that is heaven. Most fights don't happen because we don't love each other. They happen because we forget to breathe before replying. Relationships are a bit like Wi-Fi. Full signal one moment, buffering the next. Are you ready to handle that? Are you ready to handle the downs in that beautiful relationship? And are you ready to recognize when the downs are far outnumbering the ups, which were possibly there, but no longer? This is something which you really need to understand. There's a wonderful story from Mahabharata. Karna, loyal, misunderstood, majestic, he stood by Duryodhana and still remained regal. Now, agreeing with someone's truth is your option, but respecting it, that's compulsory if you want to matter in their life. It's a choice that he made to side with whom he sided with. He lived and possibly died for that. Please get it. It's, after all about a choice. People may give you opinions about certain relationships that you have, but you choose. You see what is working for you in the larger sense of your life. सब लोग अपने Netflix ड्रामा में ना हीरो बनना चाहते हैं. But remember, at times you may need to become the background score for someone. If it helps for you, if you believe in someone, you need to play a background fiddle for some people. And you will notice something. You won't feel bad about it. Because you know, there is grace in allowing people to have their moment. But it's also important for you to notice that you are not getting disrespectful. You are not feeling disrespected for what you have done. It is very important to count and be invested in your own respect. Many a times we carry rotting ties like emotional antiques. It's been there for such a long time. Yeah, we've been friends for long. Because we're scared to say, it's over. It was there. Oh yes, it was there. And it was so wonderful at one point of time. But it's no longer so now. Every toxic tie takes up space. Things that have been amazing in the past are there in memory. But a toxic present and a toxic future is going to completely poison your life. Letting go isn't betrayal, my friend. It's self-respect in action. जब रिश्ते सांस ले रहे हों तब जिंदे होते हैं. जब रिश्ते सांस ले रहे हों तब वो जिंदा होते हैं. पर जब वो सांस लेना बंद करते हैं तो वो मुर्दा हो चुके हैं. And dead things, if you keep tied to yourself, they're going to kill you. They're going to take away your life. And remember one thing. Not all exits are failures. Not all silences are abandonment. I recall some friends of mine who have ghosted me. I kept replaying that moment. When my messages weren't answered, my phones went again unanswered. I kept trying because there was something amazing. There was something which you say that there was mutual respect. And yes, there was help from either side, but then it had stopped. I had to accept it. Because no one owes you a reply when they don't want to. He owed me the truth. And guess what? So did I. So there came a time when I said, got it. Got it. It's important for you to get certain communication. Sometimes people may not be erudite or articulate enough to let you know in so many words, but they have moved on. Their priorities, their worldview, their necessities, how they see their future life has moved on. So it may seem hurtful to you in the short term, but actually long term, it is your freedom. Because you've gotten that you know where you are. A restless seeker once visited a monk, desperate to fix his broken relationships, and he began, listing complaints and sorrows one after the other. The monk quietly poured tea into a small cup. It filled, and then kept pouring until it spilled onto the table. The man shouted, "It's overflowing. It's overflowing." The monk looked at him and said, "Exactly. Your heart is like this cup, too full of yesterday to taste today. Empty first, and then something new can be poured." So don't enter new relationships with suitcases packed by old ones. Unpack. Discard. Even the kindest soul will trip over your baggage. So to respect the new, to respect the kindness that the new is affording you, allow yourself to be free of judgment from the past. Allow yourself to be available to the magic new. देखो भाई, मैं भी सीख रहा हूँ. I'm learning. Every day I react. I mess up. I apologize. Sometimes late. I sulk too. But I come back. Because I care for my journey. I care for the new journeys that I have taken on. Because now my journey is our journey. A journey which is meant to nurture one another. To love is not to lose yourself. It is to meet others, just like you meet yourself, with compassion, with curiosity, and with love. That's what I'm doing with Rupali. I met her at this stage of my life. I've gone through stuff. So has she. We both have had our past. But this new has to be free from that past. It's easier said than done, but we have discovered when we are open to the new possibilities that each one of us bring into our lives, each one of us touches each other in such a remarkable fashion that we actually let the brilliance, the intelligence, the wisdom that we have earned over the years to be available to each other. तो रिश्तों में अगर रहना है ना, so don't be a judge. Definitely not a victim. And please don't try to be a savior. Just be someone who loves and who listens. And when needed, sometimes just be quiet. Yep. That is grace. The grace of not always winning. But when you can say, okay, got it, love you the way you are and the way you want. That is rishta, relationship. Al shukran bandhu, al shukran zindagi. Thank you for being in this conversation with me. Have an amazing life. Cheers.